Alright, playing My Dangerous Life again, Chapter 9. No clue what happened last time, just stuff that was a complete headache. Let's get into it. The house was dark when we got back. We moved around quietly so as not to wake anyone. I wish you had waited for me to get back. It's already late. It was my own reckless choice to go out. Yeah, the Club Friday one. I think it was a really good video, so I'm really upset that you guys... I was planning to have it come out today, and I was really upset because I think it's a good video, but YouTube doesn't want you to see it. Protecting you made me want to hurt them even more. With a soft smile, he touched my cheek. Something feels off. Chad, are you avoiding my suggestion? What? I knew it. Leaving the country, I believed he had the will to do it, but... Things are extremely dangerous right now. Hearing you say that makes me want to let this go even less. Knowing you feel that way is enough for me. If it were me, I would go to the police. I played out the situation in my mind, but I remembered what a pointless exercise that was. You can't, I know. Money was everything. With money, even a murderer. I slumped and tried to come up with a different idea. It's unfortunate that you're not rich, Hinata. Aren't you rich, Chad? Pretty sure you are. You're basically the CEO of this big company now, too. I slumped even further at Chad's ruthless words. What if we told the police that you were a candidate to succeed Mr. Carnegie? I'm afraid not. I couldn't detect even a hint of disappointment in his face. Mr. Carnegie is guilty of plenty of things himself, so he would become a serious Achilles heel for us. If we aren't too careful, the police will fabricate some suitable crime to bring us in. Even supposing we did manage to file a lawsuit, Mr. Carnegie would crush us completely. I looked at Chad, who was humming to himself. Why aren't you freaking out? Seeing him act even a little bit anxious would have helped me feel less uneasy. There's no point in losing one's mind, he continued, and there's no point in getting worked up over something uninteresting. I already know that. I'm very happy right now. You're very just because you're with Hinata? Okay. Happy? Even though someone's after your life? I thought they were just after Hinata's life. I don't remember. Ever since you started avoiding me, we've been spending less and less time together. That's just because I was afraid of getting raped. Now that you mentioned it. So, you're happy? Yes, when I think about how I found a place in your mind, my heart does a little dance. As opposed to the suitable crimes Chad has committed. Yeah, he did blow up a building, didn't he? This game just is so crazy. Anyway, even though he might get himself killed, I feel stupid for freaking out, but I was also sensing something about Chad that was normally impossible to grasp, though I still couldn't accept this attitude. He clapped his hands together and grinned wildly as if he thought of something. Do you have an idea? No, even better. He took out an envelope that the man had given him at the abandoned building. What is that? It's the money that the other Hinata paid as part of the agreement. I don't understand. Why was there another Hinata, and why did they even want to take Hinata's identity? I couldn't speak, nor could I take the envelope that Chad held out to me. I looked at him at the envelope in turn. I don't think that everything will be solved by returning this money. But I think it may bring the matter to an end. Oh, I thought that was our money to keep. So... You want to know more about me, don't you? Chad's occupation, I simultaneously did and didn't want to know. But Chad continued without waiting for an answer. I'm a con man. I'm not surprised. Oh. I couldn't wrap my head around it in time to give a proper answer. I'm sorry, Hinata. He apologized sincerely, but I wasn't sure what he was apologizing for. Thank you for telling, or you didn't have to tell me. Oh, that came out a completely different way. What the hell? I wanted you to hear it from me. That literally came out completely different from the choice that was on the screen. I said, you didn't have to tell me, and then Hinata was like, I wish you didn't tell me. Whatever. Was the realtor working with you too? No, I simply requested something from him. Creating real estate documents and things like that. I prefer to work alone. Then why? I was the one who arranged your substitution, however. Similarly, he was set up to take the blame for what I had done. So to get this straight, C Corporation, who wanted Carnegie killed, had planted an assassin at the university. This was because Carnegie was the chairman of the university board. It didn't matter whether or not the guy looked like me. It was the sort of thing where it didn't matter if people with evidence came forward as witnesses. How so? He assumed my name, just as I was planning to start university, and took my place. At the same time... What? How so? What do you mean it doesn't matter if he looked like you? Huh? What? So, a non-Asian man murders Carnegie. Hinata is brought to court for murdering Carnegie. He's Asian, and the court just dismisses this. Okay. Well, I don't know. Money's everything. So stupid. You know, God, I can't keep doing this. Let's say, at the same time, Chad met with assassin sent by C Corp and accepted a contract to deceive me. He took a lot of precautions, thinking about every possible option. Having the realtor cheat me out of my flat was probably one of them. By taking all of these precautions, Chad made it very difficult for anyone to detect what exactly he had arranged. If someone asked me, I would have to say you've been doing some pretty bad stuff, but to let someone else take the blame... Hearing him talk about it now was even more of a shock than I had imagined. I have no excuses. I could say it's just how I make a living, but this was just a natural way of things, wasn't it? So the money, why? Because I'm not going to deceive you anymore. Why is that? I found myself drowning in a foolish hope. So much I couldn't make myself distinguish between right and wrong. Drowning in Chad's eyes. Just then the phone rang. It continued ringing in the dark. I have a bad feeling about this. Haha, so do I. Chad stood up and walked over to the phone. I grabbed Chad's hands to keep him from picking up. I'll answer. Whatever for. I picked up the receiver instead of answering him. I don't want them to know Chad's here. Chad? You! I didn't expect Carnegie to be on the other end of the line. He was the main reason Chad was now in this dangerous situation. In this dangerous life. Where's Chad? Would it be okay for me to say he was here? He got attacked, didn't he? Is he hurt? How do you know that? Need I remind you that I have a good deal of influence? That influence had protected Carnegie. Then, you can help Chad, can't you? What exactly are you talking about? I'm begging you, please help him. I heard Carnegie's short on the other line. Snort. He's going to be my successor. He has to solve things like this on his own. You were the one who suddenly decided he'd be your successor. I gripped the receiver tightly in frustration. I don't care what you say. You'll get no assistance from me. Or is Chad himself looking for someone to save him? That? He had never given any indication of that. Even now he was just looking on and smiling. Hinata, I'll be perfectly fine. But... Please, give me the phone. I couldn't refuse him. I handed him the receiver and took a step back. What are they talking about? Probably about what happened today. But it was way too soon for anyone to have found out what happened just now. I stared at Chad's back with unease. Good evening. At your age, I assumed you would be asleep by now. I heard Carnegie laugh loudly. What was so funny? Yes, no, there's no need to worry. So may I ask you to refrain from doing such a thing again? I understand you perfectly well. My anxiety was growing rapidly. Does that mean... Were you the one who sent those men? That dealt a decisive blow to my nerves. I'm not your successor, but I accept your challenge. Yes, I think we'll both enjoy this great deal. Chad hung up the phone. Sonic speed? I'm trying to get through this. Haha, what an interesting event this will be. He brushed his hair out of his face and turned around. Wait. What are you raising your voice for? Are you saying that Mr. Cunning was behind what happened at that building? Yes, at first I thought the man from C Corp, but considering the timing of that phone call, it had to be Mr. Carnegie. He confirmed that for me. I felt my body tremble, not knowing what all of this meant. Actually, let me, I need to change one of the settings because, speed. Let's turn that text speed to 100. So setting you up as a successor. He said that if this matter were brought to a proper close, I would seriously have to take over. He muttered about what an annoyance this was. This was the first time I'd ever heard him whine. What happened at that abandoned building was more or less a test of my abilities in a crisis. Isn't that taking it a bit too far? That's been clear from the beginning. At this point, you're the only one who I can rely on, Hinata. Now, where do we go from here? Noticing that we were alone, his face lit up. Even at a time like this, a warm feeling was spreading through my chest. Gay. I'm the only one he has? I felt something like happiness at that, even though it didn't feel appropriate right now. Thinking of something happy? No. What am I thinking? I was somehow pleased to have him all to myself, even with everything going on. I could stay by this mysterious man's side. Why was I so glad about that? I want to tell him. Those feelings I couldn't describe, that were going on inside me. It didn't matter whether he was a guy or a girl. I want to tell him how I feel. Hinata, you look so happy, but you look ill at ease. You're being very fidgety. It's fine. That's just how I am. That's just how all Asians are. You wouldn't know. Chad, there's something I want to tell you. The day you make up your mind is a fortunate day. Remembering that saying from my hometown, I decided to declare my feelings. Wait, Hinata. He stopped me by covering my mouth and putting his dirty fingers inside there. They taste kinda... they taste kinda like his ballsack. Then he told me to stay quiet. My heart was beating wildly. What was happening? In the silence, the living room door opened. What are you doing here this late? Alan, Brad. I'd been so tense that all the strength went out of me. Did we wake you up? Yep. Now as an apology for waking us up, you better tell us what happened. I don't want to drag you into all of it, but shall I tell you? We're already plenty wrapped up in it. Alan looked at me. They were dragged into it to the moment I was invited to stay here. Alright, I'll tell you. The other two moved to the couch. I faced Chad, an eager expression on my face. Who's Hinata? This is great. What is? Well, maybe we can get them to help us. I don't know about that. Oh. People are concerned with what will benefit them most after all. After giving me a grim response, he sat down. Chad, everyone seemed to be getting along well, but in reality no one was fully able to trust each other. It's especially confusing, might as well get it done, exactly. Then, Chad and I explained what happened in painful detail. This is a serious pain in the ass. Sorry. You've got nothing to apologize for. He's right, the root of every one of these evils is that old man. I feel like that's a bit of an exaggeration. If we were talking about the person who deceived me in the first place, I glanced at Chad's face, exactly. He winked innocently. I knew Chad was glossing over certain things. I was getting swallowed up in his mindset. Yeah, exactly, Stockholm Syndrome. So what are you two gonna do now? I looked away as Brad said that. Of course, for the sake of my peaceful future with Hinata, I will fight. Hinata ain't yours. It was just a figure of speech, don't worry about it. Brad grimaced, but then it quickly changed into a smirk. Well, as long as you pay me enough, I got no reason not to help. Come on, we live together, so I must ask that you do it free of charge. Aren't you rich? Free of charge? Now then, is this alright? Everyone exchanged looks. Is what alright? Since they're after my life, they will likely stage an attack here if I'm asking if that's alright. No, it's not. I suppose not. You're a crafty bastard. Guess we're stuck with it. If you're so sure about what's gonna happen, we better make our move soon. Huh? But we don't even know where they are. Brad looked ready to rush out the door immediately. I frantically tried to stop him. Don't be reckless. We need to discuss what we're going to do. I grabbed Brad's arm to keep him from leaving. I act first and ask questions later. It's what I do. For every guy who's bad at using his brain, there's another who's good at using it. Are you saying you trust me? I'm saying that I recognize your strategic abilities. I still don't trust you as a person. Brad, please calm down. Fine, I'll hear you out. Thank goodness. I let go of Brad and returned to my seat. He's the Dollar Tree version? Wait, Dollar Tree version of what? He's rich, but also a con man. Not paying people is his thing. Even for Hinata's sake? First of all, Hinata, you've come this far, so enjoy yourself. This again? This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, wouldn't you agree? I'm about to get murdered. What the hell are you talking about? I could do just fine without it. I feel the same way. As if. Alan, you just want to contradict Chad. Alan looks sullen. Right on point? Everyone, please think this over seriously. Oh, I have so much mucus running down my throat as I'm doing this. And it's making it harder. Is that TMI? Haha, does this count as thinking it over? Alan tapped the table with his finger. This mess ends here. Yes, you're right. I'm going to be giving concrete directions, so listen up. Okay. I was startled at the word directions at first, but then the other two seemed ready to agree. First of all, Mr. Carnegie will apparently be holding a party soon. According to the man himself, it's his birthday. We should all attend. That's good to hear. Yes, except that we don't have tickets. I don't get it. We're his successor. Why don't we have tickets? Then again, I guess I don't understand anything in this game. Should I take care of that? If you would. Then Chad turned to Brad. On the first day, I want you to cause a ruckus at the scene. Rocket, I'll find some of my gang buddies who have some time on their hands. He's in the gang? You're not to break anything or cause any other kind of damage. What kind of ruckus can he cause without doing that? Good lord. Alright, I'll tell them to be careful. Chad looked at me at last. Finally, it's my turn. Hinata, why don't the two of us go together? Okay. Then we'll disperse for today and get a good night's rest. Chad? Chad ignored me and stood up. We'll pick up where we left off once we're alone. He returned to the room without another word. Does he mean, when I was trying to tell him that I was in love with him? You just remembered. Hesitate? Consider Chad's point of view. Why does he look so sad? It seems that I'm sorry to lose my mind. I'll pick up where we left off once we're alone. When I said that and returned to my room before Hinata, I may have just been trying to run away. Why are we getting narration from Chad's point of view? The reason I was so hesitant to tell him about my work is because I feared precisely the response I got. Of course, it's not the sort of occupation one can declare just like that, so I told hardly anyone about it. And yet to see Hinata looking at me that way and saying nothing. Why does my chest hurt so much? A dry laugh escaped from the back of my throat. That boy is always so honest and straightforward. All I ever see from him are earnest responses and genuine smiles. I'm worried about you. Please take this more seriously. Your life is on the line. Who turned on the light? His face at that moment, once he knew that my life was in danger, Hinata began to worry about me from the bottom of his heart. I didn't even consider my own life all that valuable, and that this boy was anxious about a total stranger. His desperate face, looking like that might cry at any moment, had been appealing to me. I would be sad to lose you too. My heart would be crushed, and I would spare no effort in punishing the one who killed you. But this boy was different. He had begged me because of the pain and sadness that threatened his heart. He genuinely valued my life, and that's why he was acting this way. I had no idea that anyone with such a heart that pure truly existed. I had to stifle a laugh. It was so amusing I could hardly bear. The day that would come when someone was sincerely worried about me. A sense of indescribable warmth welled up inside me. I clutched my hand to my chest. I've always had a strategic mindset when it came to the basic human psyche, but to be trembling like this, wanting to act impulsively, haha, it's foolish, I mocked myself. Then I slowly sank into my bed. Hinata was surely going to rush in at any moment. Now what should I do? I could feign sleep and wait for him. The door opened quietly. I heard footsteps approaching. My heart surprised me, beating as excitedly as that of a young boy. Alright. How long has it been since the stream started? Okay, we got one chapter in less than 20 minutes. Okay, we gotta keep speed reading. We gotta keep speed reading, because I want to be done. Okay. I felt sure that Chad would be awake and waiting for her. After all, he was the one talking about continuing our earlier conversation, but... He's in bed? This is an unexpected situation left me feeling exhausted. I found my feet carrying me towards his sleeping form. You've got guts creeping on a sleeping man. I made a surprised sound as Chad's eyes flew open. I just learned from the best. You're awake. I can't fall asleep that quickly, so what's this all about? He was smirking, probably remembering our previous conversation. Actually, you're sleeping in my bed, because that's the bed you gave me, dickwad. You're mean. I am? I don't think so. I just want to chase you down when I see you running away. That's called stalking. He said he wants to chase me down. I see all sorts of traps for that purpose. Stop saying such creepy stuff. You see, I don't have Stockholm Syndrome anymore. I know how creepy you're being. He made it sound like he was trying to capture me. Am I just a pet to you? Of course I am. I'm your little Japanese exotic pet. You racist son of a... After putting all this effort into getting a hold, don't you think I want to keep you from running off again? This man, why don't you just lock me in prison, making you a little personal sex slave? Ooh, that's actually turning me on. Maybe I want that. What was he thinking? It's too early for you to get caught, Hinata. He pushed me away lightly and then... Good night. After throwing such a standard phrase at me, he went straight back to sleep. I cannot believe we've only had one CG in this game. Alan and Brad were usually around, but today they weren't. The apartment was very quiet in their absence. I just can't relax. Life here was generally hectic. Someone or other was always around, so I'd been enjoying my time. Good morning, Hinata. Good morning. Is that coffee? It smells marvelous. Yes, do you want some too? The coffee doesn't have that strong a sense, does it? I've never, like, smelled coffee. Maybe it does, I don't know. He shook his head and glanced at my face. You have dark circles under your eyes. Did you not sleep well? Well, I had a lot on my mind. Could Chad tell that I was lying? That I hadn't been able to sleep because I'd been wondering when he'd come to my bed? Haha, well, as long as everything's alright. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I didn't know that my face had turned red. No, I did know. Say, why don't we go out for a moment? Groggily, I gulped down the rest of my coffee and nodded. You looked away for 2 minutes and you're really confused? Yeah. Sounds about right. There were fewer people in the street than usual, and something felt off. Chad didn't seem to feel any danger, striding alongside me confidently. Will we be safe? It's in the middle of the day. Are you worried we'll be attacked? We have nothing to fear on that front. I feel like we ought to do something. I remembered Alan and Brad. They weren't at home because they were taking care of what they've been asked to do. The place we're going will help us prepare for later. Really? Chad nodded, and after a moment we reached a storefront. Here. He pointed at a high-end store. This is... We're here to pick out some clothes that will suit you, so have fun. Huh? The amusement in his smile made me shiver. I had a hunch nothing good was going to happen here. I can choose myself, so I ask you to wait outside. What does he mean, so? Listen to me. If you can't smell it, it's crappy coffee? Well, I guess so. In the end, Chad wouldn't allow me to pick out my own clothes. He said he wanted to dress me up, just like some kind of a doll, like I was just a plaything. It kind of turned me on to hear him talk about me like that, like I was an object, or even so much as set foot inside the store. Being ordered around like a dog, it was humiliating and hot at the same time. I was afraid to see what he was carrying in the plastic bag he brought out with him. Sex toys, no doubt. Those two are taking a while to come back. I was trying hard not to let the conversation stray to the close. They'll have everything ready by tonight. And when is the party? Tomorrow night. Isn't that too rushed? It won't benefit us to drag things out too long. They're likely to start hunting me in earnest now. That's awful, and to think Mr. Carnegie attacked you too. Just so you know, he did warn me. Did he hire hitmen? I don't think they were skilled enough to be hitmen. They were probably meant as a warning. Are you worried? There's no point if you die that easily. That's why I was the scapegoat. Don't look so frightened. Now since I've been shopping at a fancy store, those who are after me should have an inkling that I'll make an appearance at this party. That's why you went out during the day. He nodded and reached into the plastic bag. Here, try these on. What he showed me first was a suit with slits along the sides. And then a gown fit for a princess lined with pink lace. And finally, an elegant dress with a low neckline. I actually want to kill him. These are all for women. Even if he was still treating me like a child, there was no reason for me to wear anything like this. I bought them for you. I want you to be my cute little girl. And can I call you my cute little girl? Is that okay? I don't care. I don't like them. That's a shame. He sighed deeply, then narrowed his eyes and grinned. You can put them on yourself, or I can undress you, or I can have my way with you until you feel like putting them on. By all means, take your pick. One of these things is happening whether you like it or not. Those eyes, he's serious. Undress me first. I really don't have any other choice but to wear them. What then? I'd like you to undress me first. That'd be kind of the hottest thing to do. Now that it had been determined that I would wear one of these things, I started worrying about which one Chad would make me put on. It had been determined there's no way I could go against Chad. He's my dom and I'm his sub. With these slits it'd be easy to slip one hand under. It's not meant for slipping your hand anywhere. Growing bored of the suit, he looked at the pink princess dress next. Someone could hide under the skirt of this one. What are you talking about? Next, he picked up the dress with the low neckline. This sort of garment shows that you want someone to touch you up too, rather than down below. This is completely untrue. You're saying I'm asking for it. Now, where shall we start? He continued his game for a while. Can we stop now? Already, I was enjoying myself. I can imagine wanting to kiss you while you're dressed as a girl. Kiss me? Where? Where are you planning to kiss me? There was a minimal objection, but Chad looked at me very seriously. Everywhere. I want everywhere. What's more, I truly think these would suit you well. It doesn't matter to me whether you're dressed like a boy or a girl. If it doesn't matter to you that I'm dressed like a boy or a girl, then why did you only get girl clothes? At this sudden change in Chad's expression, my heart began to throb. Chad. No, why don't you try one of these on? With a grin, Chad spread the woman's garments on the floor and continued to scrutinize me. Which one do you prefer, Hinata? I think they're all... If I were a girl... If a girl would wear any of these, I would say the fluttery pink dress would make her the cutest, but when it came to me, I felt embarrassed at the thought of wearing any of them. Are you going to force me to choose one for you? Judging by the way he was looking at me, I had a feeling something bad might happen if I let him pick, but... Yes, please do. I knew that in the end I would hate whatever he came up with regardless. Then please put this one on. Looking enormously pleased, Chad unfolded the dress with the low, wide neckline. Alright, even if he refused, I know he would just make me put it on eventually. Feeling simultaneously resigned, and like I didn't want to rain on Chad's parade, I took the dress. I'll go change. I was much too modest to want to change here. I ran from the bedroom to the living room. You're as cute as ever, Hinata. But, just as I thought. Chad, I can't do this. You really don't know when to give up. I guess there's no way around it. Huh? Chad, with a look of forced regret, took out something. What was it? That's women's underwear, isn't it? That's exactly right. You're going to put on these panties and you're going to like it. You hate the dresses so much, so I thought perhaps these. As a matter of fact, I bought them at the same time. Please try them on. And just so you know, it doesn't matter whether you wear women's or men's garments, just like I said before. That's why I only got women's panties. I can't do that either. My, you really are a stubborn child. Why don't you put on these pair of high heels I got? Chad crossed his arms in consideration. You shouldn't have to think about it that much. Alright then, let's just imagine what you'd look like so beautifully adorned. Huh? Chad moved around behind me and slipped his hands under my clothes and onto my bare skin. What are you doing? I was caressing you while imagining you in that dress from before. What? If I acted too nonchalantly, I might disappoint him. With it being so open on the chest, I suppose I could do it even without the dress still on. Do it? What are you talking about? Oh, Hinata, you telling me you prefer doing it in the nude? You surprise me. No, I don't. Hang on. Did you buy me women's clothes and underwear because you wanted to do this? You did, didn't you? I can't say that you're wrong. I knew it. Chad, you're toying with me way too much. What's more, this sort of play could get dangerous very quickly. Chad's actions seemed to be escalating. I turned towards the door and took a step forward, but then just as I found myself frozen in place... Wait, Hinata. Chad grabbed my hand from the hips and from behind and pulled me towards him. Do you really dislike clothes I picked out for you so completely? I heard Chad's seductive voice right next to my ear. This was definitely foul play, whispering to me like that. No, it's not like that. Actually, it's exactly like that, but apparently I'm just too horny to say no. It was all I could say. Haha, you're so sweet and lovely. He kissed me lightly on the cheek. I love that about you. Love? That single word made my heart race. You're so open to evil influences. It's so easy to manipulate you any way I like. Stop making fun of me. Weren't you the one who wanted me to have my way with you? Yes, but you're being malicious. You already knew that about me, didn't you? I'm a cruel man. Completely unashamed, Chad threw out his chest and declared it so. And now I really must have you put on what I bought for you. Our conversation continued along the same lines after that. In the end, I was used as Chad's dress-up doll, and thoroughly as that for his amusement. Episode 11, please. Damn. The day of the party arrived in the blink of an eye. Is it okay if I just wear what I usually wear for the party after all? That's just like you, Hinata. Very cute. Or... Interrupting himself, Chad grew closer. Wouldn't it be better to go as a girl? We already discussed this. I'm not a fetishist. My face grew hotter. No way. You two aren't getting along very well. Brad, who had been watching us, interjected with a tone of exasperation. No different than usual. Getting other people to do his work for him while he sits there looking pretty. Alan snorted. Is Alan angry? I'm grateful. I have my own tactics prepared. Oh? Alan smirked, looking curious. Chad chuckled. We've set everything up, haven't we? Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Puh, I'll go first. Alan, You go with Chad, I'll go ahead. Oh, Brad's also gone. I looked back and found Chad smiling triumphantly. What's going to happen now? I feel like everyone understands everything. Am I the only one who doesn't? Episode 11, episode 11. Come on, come on, come on. Oh. The venue wasn't far away, so we decided to walk there. We weren't particularly in formal wear. For want of a better word, this was a simple outing. This is just like a date, isn't it? Why would you say that, should I not? Obviously, I don't mind being a couple of guys when we're at a house, but whenever we went out, I couldn't help but worry about people staring at us. If I were dressed like that, I wasn't interested in cross-dressing, but I did wonder about what things would be like if I were a girl. We could be holding hands, we could link our arms, you could do that now. It would be so easy to show I love this person, so the only reason I'm afraid of loving him is because I'm a guy, apparently, so you do love him. But I don't feel like that's something I can say. My blood seethed at these thoughts, my hand was especially warm, I realized Chad was holding it. When did... You weren't doing it, so I thought I'd better take the initiative. People will see. No need to worry, this is perfectly normal, it's just a sign of pure love. He chuckled. You look so serious, so I thought it would be more fun for you to think about something else. I'm right beside you, so it was all right if we held hands. I squeezed his hand a little tighter. It was bigger than mine, my heart beated rapidly. Soon enough, everything will be settled, and then, well, let's just say I'm looking forward to it. Huh? Looking forward to my confession? Could I trust him? Did he feel the same way I did? Chad often admitted that he loved me. What if he grew cold towards me the instant I told him about my feelings? Hey, you two are seem friendly with one another. Are you two gay or something? Are you sodomites? I bet you could have a lot more fun with us than with that pretty boy. If you don't want that fella with you to get hurt, you ought to come with us. 5 mean-looking guys appeared out of nowhere. They were circling us. Are these the guys, Chad? What a pain. He pulled his cell phone out of his breast pocket. I didn't know who he was planning to call. Everyone around us who was so surprised by this that no one said anything. Who the hell are they? We should take this chance to run away. While I was dealing with this sudden surge of anxiety, Chad was smiling. There was something wrong with me for feeling so calm every time I see him smile. Good, thank you very much. Chad ended the phone call and turned to me. Everything will be alright. What will? We might get killed. Hardly. This has nothing to do with today's party. Huh? They're just delinquents. Do you think a professional would go out about it so shabbily? I guess, well, actually, even if what Chad said was true, this wasn't really the time to be saying it. The others are right there. Surely he knows that. Quit screwing around. We'll be taking this brat with us. One of the men raised his fist. With an impeccable timing, a patrol car drove up. Wait, is Chad a gang member? No, Brad is. The police dragged the men away. We were left in peace, but wasn't that timing a little too perfect? Wait, was that a phone call? Yes, I contacted the police. What the? Is something amusing you? I was just thinking about how gallantly you swooped in and saved the day at times like this. All I did was pull out my phone. I'm not much of a fighter. Yeah, I can't really picture you punching someone. You can't? No, but I can imagine you pushing me down and holding my hands together and forcing your way inside me. Oh, it's almost time. We should hurry. I want to enjoy this moment just a little longer. It's a shame that this couldn't last a little longer. Episode 11. 1-1. Oh. We're at the casino. I'm so tired. Alright. We're at the... Oops. I thought this was for a birthday party. Feeling out of place, I surveyed my surroundings. This place happens to belong to Mr. Carnegie. He probably chose this casino because of how easy it is to station security here. Of course, now that he mentioned it, the customers in the casino look different than before. All of them were wearing suits and dresses that look custom-made. They were holding champagne glasses and making elegant chit-chat. Compared to all of them, I am pretty underdressed. From time to time, I could feel someone staring coldly at me. I didn't even have to look to know that they were taking note of how undressed we were. Chad looked at the room restlessly. What's the matter? I was looking for Alan and Brad. Maybe they're in that corner trying not to stand out. I pointed to a dark space out of general view. As I started to move in that direction, I recognized 2 familiar faces in the crowd. Hinata, there they are. Yo. You're late. Did something happen? Contrary to my expectations, the 2 of them are blending in perfectly with the rest of the attendees. Chad said white privilege activate? Dear Lord, yes he did. You 2 are amazing. I couldn't spot you at all. I was more afraid of the assistant's eyes than I was of the stares of those around me. And yet those 2 had succeeded in blending in. And if you make yourself invisible, it's actually quite easy. You make yourself invisible? Yep, you have some of this champagne. I don't really, I'm sorry. It's not that I couldn't drink, I just wasn't interested in getting drunk in a place like this. Aw, come on, you're a grown man. I guess you're still a kid on the inside. I hated that, I couldn't deny it. Please don't tease Hinata. His innocence is the cutest thing about him. With one hand on each of my shoulders, Chad stood up. I was even used to being called cute by now. Excuse me, are you Chad, one of the one the CEO picked as a successor? I am Chad, but I turned down that offer. What a wasteful thing to do! However, that attitude has made him even more interested in you. He sent us to tell you that. Chad continued conversing polite with the men who had approached him. He was so dignified, so cool that he stood out more than anyone else. Being looked at with such passion is embarrassing, you know. Huh? What are you talking about? Immediately after his suggestive whisper, I heard a burst of hoarse laughter. You seem to be having fun. I could never forget the owner of that voice. You. I had no regrets about saying we should try to save Carnegie, but I was angry that this old man dragged Chad into this mess. Don't look so mad. You'll spoil a pretty face. I have every reason to be angry. Now that that's in the past, Hinata, please settle down. He's right. They stared me down. There's something similar about these two. Still, to zero in on Hinata like that, you certainly have good taste. Naturally, I'd like to make him my granddaughter. Oh my god, I'm about to end this game. I'm about to literally just stop playing this game. Oh lord. I'm a boy. Ever since I arrived here, everyone kept talking about how cute I was. I wouldn't have minded that in itself, but I couldn't take to be called a girl. Of course you're a boy, but those girls things certainly looked well on you, didn't they? No way. Even those two reacted this time. What are you saying? I'm telling the truth, aren't I? He was, but the explanation that Chad had given me when he went to the store was that we were setting up a decoy for the assassins. Then what was the point of having me dress up as a girl? I already knew it was for his own fetish, so why am I acting surprised? My head was bursting with questions. I kept a close eye on Chad. With every move he made, he was attracting more and more stares from the people around him. We came all this way to the casino, so why don't we play a game? Huh? Alan, I thought you were up to something. What do you say, Mr. Carnegie? Before Carnegie could answer, I tugged at Chad's sleeve. Chad, are you joking? Please say you're saying it's a lie. I'm sorry, Hinata. This VN probably had a load of a budget but decided to invest padding and writing an as long as possible story. I guess so. His apology made it clear he wasn't kidding. It's no use no matter what I say, Chad won't back down. I looked at Alan and Brad. I begged them with my eyes to do something about this. But we were interrupted the last time we were here. Alan was completely up for it. Chad's life is in danger here. I sighed then. Chad gave me a pat on the back. Huh? I took a step forward from under the force of his hand. When I looked back in confusion, I saw Chad smiling. I don't know what you're so worried about, but there'll be a prize, you know. Oh, do you intend to hand this boy over to the victor? Do what you like with him. I know you're plenty accustomed to enjoying guys, or shall I dress him up as a girl for you? If that happens one more time, if something this annoying happens one more time, I'm done with this game. I'll actually just close the stream. Cheers rose from some of the people around us. Wait just a minute, I don't remember agreeing to anything like that. I never thought the day would come when I'd be sold to Chad. Wait, sold by Chad, you mean? Very well, I will join your game. What are the rules? Of course, the rules of this casino will suffice. So cheating. Brad, you talk too loud. Of course, with this many people around, things might become especially heated. Maybe it was the point this was the point that I finally realized. Chad was alright with anything as long as it made things interesting for him. Even if it meant driving someone else into an extremely unpleasant situation. He only cares about himself. I can't believe I'm still in love with this man. I can't believe the fact that he does this still turns me on. Episode 11. Okay, bye. I knew Chad wanted to enjoy himself, but he was putting his life on the line. I just can't watch this silently. Now since we've received some permission from our sponsor, wait. If you're serious to objecting about being made the prize, I'll explain later. That's not it. This is too dangerous. Please call it off. Chad raised his eyebrows and tilted his head in surprise. Leaving things as they are would also be dangerous, wouldn't it? So I felt like it would be easier to end it all here. Are you just planning to end it here? That's what I wanted to yell, but I held back. For a moment, Chad stopped speaking and made a big show of surveying the room. That is why I've had lured Mr. Connery to this place. Connery? Who? You can't just throw in new names out of nowhere. Who is Mr. Connery? Wondering who Connery was, I followed Chad's gaze. This guy. Who's also been extremely racist to us. It was a man who tried to hunt me down relentlessly. You understand now, don't you? That I cannot back down from this game. I can't back down. Maybe he was right. But was he the one who Chad had received the quest from in the first place, right? Wouldn't that make this whole thing unavoidable? One thing was clear, settling everything here would be the quickest way to go about it. Let's establish some simple rules. Next thing I knew, Chad had everybody in the palm of his hand. They were all, very wealthy. They must wield all the same influence in this city. First, please try not to make your tricks too obvious. Second, in the interest of fairness, we'll limit ourselves to one type of game. Third, all battles will be one-on-one. This is a waste of time. Fourth, what happens here stays here. And finally, I will give Hinata to the winner. Of course, I would have felt so much better without the last point. When we had finished talking, I tugged at Chad's clothes. Everyone was looking at us, so I lowered my voice. So why am I the prize? Terribly sorry about that. A straightforward apology. Chad was enjoying himself, but I knew he was trying to protect me, so I couldn't pester him about it any further. You didn't have to recommend that I be just like a girl. The more valuable the prize, the more riled up the game will get, don't you think? I don't want to be a tool for getting people riled up. I'm sure you must have realized how I was feeling, but Chad smoothly avoided all of my questions. So you're going to make me cross-dress just for this? No, that's not it. I had no idea what else he could have meant, but no matter how much I thought about it... Obviously, it's because I wanted to see you like that all along. Are you planning to lose? Assuming Chad would win, he had helped. Wait, assuming Chad would win had helps, I don't know. But now... Only time and luck will determine that. Cheating has nothing to do with luck. Haha, I'm dying to see how this turns out. I wanted to believe that he was joking, now what? Are you alright? Sorry, that was a stupid question. Alan, what should I... I'll be fine as long as it's one of us who wins, right? Leave it to us. Alan's strong voice encouraged me. I'm gonna have a lot of fun if I get my hands on you. Fun? What exactly does that mean? Everyone's just talking about how sexually interested they are in winning Hinata and making him wear women's clothes. This game is disgusting. This game is disgusting. I'll tell you, we gotta promise not to win away at the crucial moment. The peculiar smile he gave me left me at a loss for words. Instead, I shook my head, not wanting him to tell me. Well then, let's choose our opponents and get the game started. I hated this version of Chad acting as the presenter. I'm not telling you to be like Chad, but why don't you try and have a little fun? Yeah, it's gonna be fine for whoever wins you, as long as you don't forget to have some fun, right? I feel like something bad could happen just as easily. Either way, being won by someone might be kinda nice, huh? Wait, what? No, it isn't nice at all. In the end, the only one who can rely on is yourself. Myself. That's right. What Alan said was right on point. Yes, that's it. I'll participate too and defend myself. Daddy Kuro? Excuse me. Everyone gasped in surprise when I declared that I would be playing. I couldn't tell why they were so surprised. Those people are weird. I mumbled to myself as I took my seat. When we chose opponents at random, I wound up facing Chad at random. Isn't this another one of Chad's tricks? I could be taking... It would be an advantage for Chad to go against someone weak like me. Nothing to be done. He shuffled his cards and dealt them, grinning. Being won by someone wealthy would be very fortunate for you. You volunteering is all part of the larger plan. I side took my cards and spread them out. The game was poker. Aw, that's a shame. Is your hand really that bad? I was just wondering what I should give you as a prize if you win. Well, but you won't win, so there's no point in thinking about it. I'm going to win. Why would you? Of course I'm going to win. Don't get your hopes up, but I'll cheer you on. In spite of my talking big, I lost spectacularly. Come now, chin up. Chad spoke to me kindly and hugged me around the shoulders. Chad, thanks. As I turned my head to look at Chad, I saw Brad approaching. You're too nice. Makes you an easy mark. I wouldn't say that. Think about why you joined the game. Oh, it's because Chad made me the prize. Chad. Brad laughed at the jealousy in Chad's voice, his teeth glinting. Incidentally, if I win, I'll be going up against that monster. Oh, now there's something I wouldn't want to miss. Chad, where are you going? He was walking towards the table at which the other matches were taking their course. The game hasn't started yet. I'm observing the other movements. I want to know what sort of tricks my enemies will be employing. I guess it's given that they'll be cheating. Even though I felt exhausted, I followed him. The games continue, and now the semifinals were underway. On one side, Chad was against Carnegie, on the other side, Alan was against the assassin. Unfortunately, Brad lost to Chad. Which game should I watch? I was worried about Chad, but the assassin was participating too. If he won and progressed to the next round, I can't let that happen. I went to watch those two. They were on their last one-on-one round. Each of them looked fully confident in himself. Please let Alan win. Instead of praying, you should just ask me. Chad, why are you? How did the match go? I won, naturally. His green eyes were glittering strangely. Now, I was hoping to continue our previous game, so I'd like Alan to win this one, but... You make it sound like he's not going to. His tricks don't work out as planned. I didn't know what Chad's eyes had spotted, but I could see the impatience in Alan's face, and the assassin won. So you'll be going up against him yet next. Yes, to think that I'd be able to bring my business with him to a conclusion like this. He smiled crookedly. He looked extremely pleased and fearsome with a smile that showed me that he didn't have the faintest doubt that he would win. He looked like he was seriously a bad guy. I'm not a good person either, so that won't be an issue. Because you're a con man? Yes, I intend to win. I nodded. Oh, Hinata, I almost forgot something. I forgot something when I tilted my head in confusion. Chad swooped in towards the base of my neck. We won't be able to see each other for a little while, so... He was speaking so close to my ear that I could feel his breath on my neck. He kissed my hair. My heart pounded wildly. You never warned me before you do that. I suppose there's nothing wrong with not rushing it. I don't want you to agree with me. I only need to make you happy, you know. If you'll excuse me, I need to go and prep my own tricks. Just like that. Also, it was a little bit of exaggeration to say we wouldn't be seeing each other for a while. It would be an hour at most. I touched the place where he had kissed and watched him leave. Whew. Chad began his match against the assassin. Just to be clear, we're playing 3 games, and whoever is the first to win, the 2 of them will be the winner. What voice did I even give him? Let me just thank you for such a precious opportunity to get my hands on that boy. I hate this game. Wait, no, god damn it, let me just thank you for such a precious opportunity to get my hands on that boy. I hate this game, I hate this game, I hate this game. Hate it. This game is really disgusting. Do you think you're going to get him? I always follow through on my word and never spill any unnecessary blood. Whatever you try to pull off, I will win. The exchange ended there and the cards were dealt. Full house, the victory is mine. That was a really fast poker game. My win this time. It would be terribly boring if you hadn't won once. Chad shuffled the cards and put them in order, and then to everyone's surprise, the door of the casino flew open. Police, nobody move. What the hell? What are the police doing here? You'll receive your explanation at the office with a lawyer present. What's going on? Screams rose up from all around us. People were running away in every direction trying to escape, but each one of them was caught by the police. Hey, I'm not part of this. Yeah, sure, you're coming with us. No, I'm... What with the police suddenly bursting in, the curtain was closed on the game. Honestly, kinda glad. Ow, my whole body hurts. My joints ached. It happened so fast that I had been arrested and the police had their way with me before they locked me in this cell. Even in my darkest dreams, I never thought I'd end up in jail. The room I was in was facing a passageway, metal bars serving as a boundary. What happened to everyone else, I wasn't really worried about all the rich people who had been there, but Alan, Brad, and Chad. Suddenly unable to contain myself, I gripped the bars and yelled. Excuse me, is anyone there? Shut up, I'll be contacting your native country and then we'll decide what to do with you. My native country, wait, please. I don't want my mother and father to find out about this. I felt so guilty thinking about their sad faces that I almost cried, but I snapped myself out of it, reminding myself that I still need to make sure that the others are safe. I need to ask you something, please. The guard looked back in annoyance but continued walking away. At the same time, I saw someone else approaching. Excuse me, hey, wait, please listen to me. If you keep shouting like that, you'll get the other prisoners riled up, Hinata. His footsteps reverberated through the hallway. It was Chad walking his perfect model-like walk. Why are you behind bars like me? What the hell is this? Is it because I'm Asian and you're white? Chad, I'm so glad. So you weren't arrested? Did Alan and Brad get away too? It was only after I had finished my rambling that a question occurred to me. Of course they got away. They're also white. Wait, why are you walking around openly like that? The distinctive sound of his leather shoes came to a halt in front of my cell. You always worry about everyone else first. Chad reached his arm through the gap in the bars and cupped my cheek. Please think of yourself for once. Of course I am, but I'm still worried. Think harder. He said this in such a strong tone of voice that I nodded timidly. I'm in a discussion with the police and working on getting you released, so you just need to wait a little while longer. Working on? You mean paying them? You can't do that. I didn't know how much money would be involved, but the amount required to get me released would probably be definitely very high. So you're just being held here? No, I want them to explain why. You were arrested for being at that place, so your chances of being released are close to 0. Really? What should I do? Come on, all you need to do is ask. I'm the reason you're in here, so I want to get you out as soon as possible. The reason? Chad, you don't have to do all that for me. For some reason, Chad resounded. He does need to do all that for you. Chad responded by looking down at me with a confident smile. On the contrary, it's because of me, no question. After all, I was the one who called the police in the first place. What? My jaw dropped. What was he saying? I told you what I do for a living, didn't I? Yes, you said you were a con man. The police know that if they want to thoroughly understand con man, they should ask a con man and cooperating with them. Huh? Of course, I have my own tricks up my sleeve, but lately I've been assisting the police with a good number of arrests. I'm quite torn. To be honest, I didn't get it, but... Then you've been doing a good thing. Well, occasionally it turns out like that. What about when you exploded that building? Yes, that was when I did a bad thing. Getting you wrapped up in it this time was a miscalculation on my part. I thought that if you didn't have the apartment, that you'd be left without anywhere to go. You'd return to your home country. But you found me, so yes. Even with more like rather than you found me, you chased me down the streets of New York. Even with him acknowledging it so readily, I still couldn't quite grasp it. Please tell me, why did you? Chad knew everything. I wanted him to explain it to me. The disputes between these two financial conglomerates were growing more extreme by the day. Word came in that a certain group of assassins had been brought in as accomplices, and it was assumed that they would be arrested. Everything else would be easy. I wasn't able to tell you this, but the man who hired that assassin was also at the party. So everyone was really arrested? But then why would you put yourself in a position that required so much? Isn't it obvious? Because it was fun for you? Yes, it was enjoyable to join both sides and switch roles. Continue to talk. Hinata is safer behind bars. Truer words have never been spoken. Oh, that's just like you, Chad. And sighing like that is just like you, Hinata. I had every reason to feel sad about being deceived, but somehow if I had to be tricked this way, I didn't mind it so much. But aren't you exhausted, having to keep up that smile on your face no matter what's going on? Chad smiled gently once again. I'm not tired. It doesn't make things easier for me, receiving your honest reactions to everything. I'm not good at hiding stuff. I guess that's why you're a free man right now. Yes, I wasn't arrested that day, so I slept alone at home. So the other two, Alan and Brad, they're safe. All of us had a talk just now, and they've been released. Oh, I get it. They got released so early because they're white. Makes sense. But I still can't leave yet. I dropped my shoulders and resigned. You. At Chad's whisper, I looked up. I don't know which one's better, Chad? Chad? Why is your face so captivating? A fire was burning within Chad's eyes. With those eyes fixed on me, I couldn't so much as lift a finger. What are you doing between the cell bars? Oh, Lord. God have mercy. I hate the face he's making. It looks like Chad is probably grabbing his crotch down there, but we just can't see it. Hate this. Hate this game. This is our second CG in the entire game. Can you believe that? Like, isn't that unbelievable? Anyway. Chad reached through the bars to touch my cheek. I wish I could drag you out right here, right now. Right now and get back to tormenting you, but what? My cheeks flushed. It's because your face is just too cute and you're so worried about everyone else always. He slowly stroked my cheek and traced my lips with his fingers. When I shut it in response, he smirked. You're wonderfully sensitive, aren't you? Ah! With his other hand, Chad caressed my body. His palm moved slowly over my hips and my waist, teasing me. Wait, what are you doing in a place like this? In a place like this. His hand began to move across the top of my pants. The fingertip at the corner of my lips suddenly pushed itself into my mouth. Nah. It would have been easy to get away. There was nothing binding me to Chad, and yet Chad's finger was feeling around inside my mouth. My body grew strangely hot at his touch. Disgusting. I love that you're giving me that look right now. Haha, am I really that good with my finger? Nah. Next moment, the finger slid back in, out, and inside. What? Chad's lips met mine, and his tongue slid between them. I tried to back away, but as if my hands and feet were tied together, I couldn't move a muscle. At the same time, Chad's hand was slowly caressing my abdomen. Something throbbed. The ache drew me crazy somehow. Chad? I wanted to cling to him, but the bars between us were in the way. I felt like I might crumple at the waist. This was my limit, just as I thought that. Have I gone a little too far? Chad backed away, licking his own lips. Oh, but your face says you want more. What did I want, Chad? The moment that I asked myself that question, the answer came leaping out of my throat. I love you, Chad. I know. I can see that. And you know what, Hinata? Huh? I love you too. Hate this game. Still no consent, absolutely. After Chad had left, my heart was beating so hard that I thought it might burst. I told him how I felt, and so boldly at that. There was no ounce of a lie in what I said, but I felt embarrassed to have put it so bluntly. I wanted Chad. Alone in my cell, I brought my arms around my knees, waiting for him to come back. I believed that even after what felt like an eternity, there would be a bright light at the end of the tunnel, that I'd be able to embrace Chad again. Oh my god, guys, we're almost done. 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 Oh my god, we're out. After being arrested in the uproar of the casino, I was able to get out of the jail without any more trouble. It was all thanks to Chad. The fact that I was deemed innocent and that all my family wasn't notified. I could never explain this to my parents. I told them about it, that it would all be over, that I would have to be returned to Japan. I absolutely can't let that happen. You've been silent this whole time. What's the matter? I feel like it's all been a very long, vivid dream. Haha, for me it was just business as usual. I've had enough scary things happen to me. Oh, don't say that. It was thrilling and fun. I've never once thought it was fun, although... Now that I think about it, maybe I did get a little excited. This was the sort of thing you'd only experience once in a lifetime. You haven't been talking much either. What were you thinking about? I've been thinking about the future rather than the past. Surprised to see how this tinge of sadness in Chad's eyes drew a little bit nearer to him. The future? What about? Since everything's been resolved in your housing and schooling, I suppose you'll be leaving the apartment. Oh, I hadn't thought about that, but he's right. I was still relying on the hospitality for free. That was inexcusable. No matter what they said, I just needed to pay rent. I can't say anything for sure right now, but I'll talk to Alan about it. Then you're considering leaving, aren't you? Well, I don't dislike my life here, but if I were to stay with Chad forever, I was worried I wouldn't be able to apply myself to my studies. What if I said I won't allow it? If you said that, then the question of my staying here would be resolved very quickly. I would just accept whatever you said because I'm a little sub-beta B. As soon as I put that into words, Chad's arms wrapped around me and picked me up. What, Chad? I told you I didn't want you to run away. Wait, I told you, didn't I, that if you run away, I would chase you. I'm not running away. Ignoring my cries, Chad dropped me onto his bed. Why are we like this? If you don't object. I don't, but this is pretty sudden. It's because you were trying to run away. Chad's lips brushed softly against my cheek and earlobe. Nah. If I ever stopped being able to see your adorable reactions to things, I might die of boredom. The kisses continued one by one until, at some point, my shirt had been undone and moved to my chest. Well, before I get bored, I would push you down like this. In which case, in the end, we'd be together even if we were apart. I was losing my head over what Chad was doing to me, and I kept clinging onto his neck feverishly. Oh God. I received several pieces of information over the next few days. First of all, I was going to stay in the apartment. Surprisingly, Alan and Brad were both happy about it. Why are we at Carnegie Hall again? And now, accompanying Chad on business, I was going to Carnegie's house. I've been subjected to some pretty unthinkable things because of you. I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. Carnegie's piercing gaze settled on me. Perhaps he was saying that his own arrest had been because of Chad's influence. I was a victim, but I wondered what they thought, if they thought I was accomplice. Hinata's the victim here. There are plenty of others for you to blame. I've already taken actions against them. Huh? It'll be 10 years before I catch up with my debts. If that's all you ended up with, then you're doing fairly well. It did seem pretty clean, cheap as a compensation for having threatened someone's life. Still, my chest hurts. Now, what is today's business about? I may not look it, but I'm quite busy. I want to officially make you my successor. I've had all the documents prepared. I do believe I refuse that offer. Someone in a suit, maybe a private secretary, spread all the documents out across the table. Why, this is a chance to get your hand on millions. I have no interest in being given such things. Then we could drop a contract for you to steal it from me. That might be interesting, but... Chad reached out and began fiddling with my hair. There's something in my eye. Oh God, there's something in my eye. Aren't you having a really important conversation right now? My super have no effect. I could see a vein standing out on Carnegie's temple. You'll drive yourself to an early death getting angry like that. Then why don't you make this matter a little more seriously? Yes, please focus on the conversation. If you insist, Hinata, then I suppose I must. Even though he was acting reluctantly, Chad was clearly enjoying making fun of me. To be frank, there was a certain appeal in your talk of succession. Was? Past tense? Yes, now that Hinata is mine, I find I am quite satisfied. You're weighing my assets against a kid? What sways my heart most is whether I'm likely to have fun. Because I'm feeling so fulfilled right now, that scale is tipping in Hinata's direction. The vein is twitching. Carnegie's clenched fists were trembling as though you were trying to restrain himself from shouting in anger. I will not give you any more chances. There's no need. If I want it, I'll take it, steal it, use it, that's my way. You're such a charmless man, but interesting. Is that so? Well, interesting things are bound to happen, so please look after your health. You said that you're satisfied now that you have your hands on him. You have some other goal, don't you? We're very similar, aren't we? As much as I hate to admit it. Huh? They don't say things... Wait, I don't even... He may have been affiliated with the police, but I didn't want to see Chad working as a con man that much. Hinata, I've made it my purpose to live in such a way that you can't live without me. Don't make something weird like that your purpose. My words didn't... I want you to be so addicted to me that you come running whenever I call your name. I swore firmly that I would protect myself. I'm ready to be done. What is the music? Y'all enjoying that Christian rock? Jesus save us all. I hate this game so much. I hate this game so much. I hate this game so much. Oh my god, I hate this game. Oh. Oh god, I hate this game. Please be careful, Hinata. Chad let go of my hand and kissed me on the forehead. This was always our parting ritual when Chad accompanied me to university. Come on, that's embarrassing. At first it had been even more embarrassing, but I was getting used to it day by day. Still, I could feel people staring. Please, let me do it anyway. Try not to be embarrassed. I'll try. Weren't you having this conversation only yesterday? I turned around to see Alan carrying textbooks in his arms and looking exasperated. Spying on us again. I can't say that's a good habit. Who's spying? When you interrupt lovers meeting day after day like this, one begins to suspect that you have ulterior motives. You already stand out as is. Whether you like it or not, people will look. Sorry. You don't need to apologize. Just be careful. You're in a delicate position. What he was saying was definitely true. I hadn't noticed it at first, but ever since the incident with the fake me, all the students and teachers here were treating me like an alien. Feel free to stop playing the part of the older brother. Looking disgruntled, Chan tried to shoo Alan away. This is what happens when you aren't careful. The same dangerous atmosphere is building up between them again, and I quickly intervened. Chad, thank you for accompanying me here. Class is about to start. I'll head off now. Alright, keep studying hard. Whenever I tried clumsily to step between them, their quarrel would only last longer. I had learned from experience that it was best to excuse myself. Oh Lord. Jesus, take the wheel. Chad and Alan's arguments were becoming famous around campus. The rumors about the other Asian guy who had stolen my identity had dissipated, and the days went by peacefully. If I don't come home soon, Chad will worry. In an attempt to catch up on lost time, I almost always studied at the university after my classes were over. I can never focus when I'm back at the house. Chad never actively did anything to hinder my studies, but when I smelled that sweet cologne or felt his gaze on me, I couldn't concentrate. Even if I tried to hide it, I know it would show on my face. An obedient type like you is yielding in matters of sex as well, I suppose. Are you saying I'm easy, Chad? Because I am, and so I would be taken back to bed. You've slept with him? I'm imagining things. That's not good. I sighed, preparing to return home when I heard the sound of leather shoes walking across the floor. Look up. I looked up, thinking it couldn't be. Gross. No. Why did you bring the music back? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jesus, free us. Feel your love and soul. Jesus, lead us. God, I spit on my screen. Took you long enough to notice. Well, your obliviousness is cute in its own way. He entered the classroom at a leisurely pace. I didn't think that you'd again. I remembered how he'd acted the part of professor before teaching a class. Yes, well, I was waiting for you to come home. I got them to let me be a teacher again. You really? With that old man being chairman, it was simple, of course. I never would have thought that Chad would ask for help, but I guess the relationship wasn't all that bad. But why are you visiting as a teacher? If he had to ask Carnegie, it should have been easy enough to get a pass for the campus. I didn't get why it was necessary to become a teacher specifically for that purpose. Because I had no interest in infiltrating as a student. No, I mean, couldn't you have just come in normally? I was a student, so I was required to be here. I thought it would be more fun if I had a role to play. So just being an ordinary person is boring. Yes, it's more interesting if we're a teacher and student for a number of reasons. That again. Unable to suppress a sigh, I looked at Chad. Chad, you're really free-spirited. Haha, do you think so? Yes, I do, but I don't hate that about you. To be honest, thinking about you as a teacher gets my heart racing a little. I think it might be interesting too. God, I've really become a kinky little bitch, haven't I? Chad nodded in agreement. Then I'm putting you in detention. He closed the door and walked over to me. I'm making you stay late today, he nodded. Now listen closely to what your teacher has to say. Closing the distance between us, Chad bent down and kissed me. We're in a classroom. Although I accepted his pecking kiss, I gave him a hesitant warning. It's the ideal place for a thrill. My heart beat even more fiercely, like it might jump out of my chest then and there, but it was my own desires that kept me from refusing him. Chad had a bad influence on me. It was an enjoyable thing to discover. Even moments like this are quite nice. Dipped in the light of the setting sun, Chad's hair, cheeks, eyelashes, all of it precious to me and beautiful. I closed my eyes once again. Is that the end of the game? Ugh. Yeah. Jam out. I gotta go. Yeah. Happy ending. Yeah, happy ending isn't quite what I would call it. Oh my god, we never have to play this game again. Whew, we never have to play this game again. Oh my god, we never have to play this game again. Oh lord. Whew. So, what did everyone think about this game? Was it fun? I think it was fun. We all really enjoyed it. I think we all really enjoyed it. Was this worse than Seiyuu Danshi, you know? They're two different beasts, you know? They're two different beasts. They're one of the three heads of the Hydra, you know? It's like, they're not worse than each other, they're part of the same evil energy, the same evil force, you know?